Hello
Greetings,
and welcome.
One of these days we're going to have a title to our podcast or our YouTube show, but we're working on it. We're working on a good title for a name for our show. So if you have any suggestions, again, chime in, please. We're working on it. Give us a week or two, maybe 3, and we'll make a big announcement of what the name of our
We'll get there.
Okay.
All right. Question number 1. Set the proper boundaries in a romantic relationship to maintain mutual respect.
Okay. Well, as I stated in our last episode, I am an equalist. And again, I don't know if I made up that word or not, but it's very important to me in relationships, especially romantic relationships and friendships, that there is equality. And I realize that there is a traditional marriage. You know, man does these jobs. Man works outside the home and mows the lawn and takes care of the car and everything. Like women cleans the house and does the dishes and cooks the food and everything. And to be honest, my first reaction to hearing that is I bristle a little bit. And I'm thinking, well, you know, why can't he cook the food or why can't she mow the lawn? However, I think that if a couple sits down and has a conversation about their relationship, who's going to do what and why and how, and if they have an agreement, that's fine. I have someone that I'm close to who their marriage is very traditional, and early on in their relationship, I think before they were actually married, she sat him down and she says, I want to do the cooking and the cleaning and the house. I want to be traditional. That's how I was raised. That's what I like. And he said, okay, I will take care of the garden and the yard and the cars and work outside the home and everything. And that's just kind of how they've been. And it's, you know, there have been moments when I've been with them and she's serving him.
Right.
And it seems a little uncomfortable. I'm a little bit uncomfortable at first because she's serving him. It's like the woman is expected to serve the man, which I'm not comfortable with. But if you know the whole story, that's the conversation that they had all those years ago.
Right.
That's fine.
If that works for you, then great.
I think the key term here is boundaries, and having a conversation about boundaries and having a conversation about what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what's appropriate, what's respectful.
Right.
You know, is this behavior respectful? Is this expectation respectful? And let's talk about this. And how do you feel about this? Well, I really don't like to cook. So therefore, you know, let's work this out. Do you like, I like to cook, I'll do the cooking. You know, whatever. And of course there are an endless list of topics that could be talked about there, but
one thing I always read, I read it on the internet, was if you're someone who hates onions, find someone who loves onions, and they'll always eat the onions off your burger. Like in my house and in my marriage, I am a huge arachnophobe. So even if there's the tiniest little daddy long legs in the shower, I will run out in my towel and I'll just go, Kevin, go kill. And he'll go and he'll kill the little spider and I'll move on with my day. Right. Yeah. And there's sometimes I can't even take the trash out because there'll be spiders living in the little grooves of the trash can. I'll be like, honey, can you either kill it or take out the trash? And go, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and I think, again, the bottom line is boundaries, respect. Boundaries sounds almost a negative and everything, but I don't really think that it is. If it's in a relationship and you've mutually talked about it and you've mutually understood each other, I don't think that it's necessarily a negative. I think that's fair. But communicate. What are your expectations? What are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with?
Absolutely.
Ask your partner questions. How do you feel about this? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Do you feel like I'm, quote, making you do the cooking because you're the woman, unquote, you know? Have those conversations. I think that those are sometimes difficult conversations to have, but I think that they're respectful and it can build, you know, it can really build a positive, healthy, you know, solid relationship.
And in some situations, necessary.
Yeah, I think that conversation is ongoing.
Yes.
I think that's going to be ongoing throughout your relationship, probably throughout your lives. Okay. All right. Very cool.
Thanks so much.
I like that one.
All right. How do I maintain a healthy relationship with my parents when at times it is difficult to communicate with them?
Well, this was written by a college student. Most of these questions are written by college students. And, you know, typically the traditional college age student is somewhere between 18 and 22. And you are transitioning from being a child to being an adult. And that is no easy transition. It's not easy for your parents, and it's not easy for you. I have a daughter that's going through that right now. And so as a child, you're in your home,
Right.
and there are rules. You have to be
Right.
home at this time. You have to make your bed. You have to help with the dishes and everything. And although that may evolve depending on the household as you get older, you're still living in their house.
Right.
And very few people leave their house when they're 18 years old. That doesn't happen very often anymore.
Well, and even now, I think I read a statistic to where the average person stays at home even into their 30s.
Oh gosh.
And well, I'm still living with it's me, my husband, and my mother in the home, but that's just because we get along together and we have financially melded everything, and she helps us and we help her, and we're got this weird, very non-traditional family thing going on.
But that works for you, and you could be a sitcom.
But next show. But the thing is that she can be very difficult to communicate with.
Really?
And oh yeah, there are some times where she will be up way past when she's supposed to be going to bed and be like, Sally, you should go to bed. And she'll go, what? And I'm like, Sally, go to bed. And yes, I do. I call my mom by her first name. Don't hate me. And she'll just be like, let me finish this episode of The Voice and then I'll go to bed. I'm like, Sally, you slept through the whole thing. It's on the DVR. Go to bed.
Yeah, you can watch it later.
But so the thing is that when you're communicating with a parent and sometimes they're not hearing you, taking what you say and kind of changing a word or two or changing the way it's delivered can kind of help send the message. Because if you are a college age student, you are also redefining yourself as an adult individual to your parent. So it's like, hey sweetie, you've been sleeping for like an hour and a half, so can you I'll turn everything off, just go to bed, brush your teeth, and I'll take care of everything else, and we'll watch this tomorrow together. So that's a way to change the conversation, but you're still maintaining your love as a child, but it's still that like, I'm an adult, you're an adult, you just need to go to bed.
Right. I think that having, if like an 18 or 19-year-old child would come to me as a father and say, hey, let's have a conversation of, kind of me growing up and what responsibilities there are around the house, I would be impressed and I would be open to that conversation.
Absolutely.
So, I realize that not all 18-year-olds are going to have that conversation with their parents and everything. There are going to be responsibilities at home, curfews, boundaries, rules, finances, etc. Those things need to be talked about. You've got to talk about those, especially, paying for college and what's happening. But I would caution 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds to be careful with their entitlement. What are you entitled to? And be aware of that and pitch in around the house, whether it's financially or cleaning the yard or cleaning the house or doing the dishes and everything. And again, I don't know what every family culture is different, but I would definitely have those conversations.
Absolutely.
It's all about respect. And I think that it goes both ways, from parents to children and vice versa, having those conversations. And when we're grumpy with each other, apologize. Say, I'm sorry, and I do that with my son all the time. I'm sorry I was grumpy the other day with you. I love you. And he's like, it's all right and everything. So I'm not grumpy too often with him, but I mean.
But that's a great way to maintain healthy back and forth when it is difficult to communicate. I think there was something, I don't know if you taught me or if I just learned it, but it was, you can love someone unconditionally, but that doesn't mean that you like them in the day-to-day. It's like, you know what, today you were a little bit of a butthead.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, that's true. Yep. Good.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Next question.
How do you know when you finally know who you really are?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question.
Oh,
how much time do you have?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we record until next Thursday?
Yeah.
For me, when I turned 30, I decided to go through a change. I had been dressing myself and doing my hair and doing my makeup to please other people because I thought that's what I had to do in order to go into the workforce, and it wasn't bringing me joy. So on my 30th birthday, I decided to stretch my ears, and I got more tattoos and I got more piercings in my face, and I bought the music that I loved in high school, and I got all my favorite, skull things. And the more and more I embrace that, the more true, authentic Sara I feel.
I think there are several moments in life that when we kind of really become who we are, we're always changing, we're always evolving and everything.
Right.
But there's something to be said about being 30 or 40 and you don't have to be cool anymore. And you can, I mean,
it's refreshing.
Listen, there's some things that I love, like, what is it? When the Jonas Brothers came out with a new CD, I mean, you know, I could be excited about it because I'm not in college. Even though I teach college, I'm not a college student. I don't have to be cool anymore.
Right.
Listen, I love Christmas. I love happy things. I love Disney movies. I don't have to be cool. I can be who I am and be comfortable in my own skin. I think that goes along with positive identity, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's, you know.
So the moment when I knew I liked who I was and who I was becoming was when I was able to stare at myself in the mirror and meticulously do my makeup for a solid 10 minutes. And I was like, yes, girl, you look amazing.
It only takes you 10 minutes to do makeup?
Well.
I need you to sit down with my daughter.
No, she is a model. I cannot get up to her level.
She is 2 to 2.5 hours of makeup sometimes.
Yeah, and she looks amazing.
I have no concept.
She's gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
I have no concept of taking that much time to do makeup. Anyway,
well, see,
she's beautiful. But
I'm used to theater, which is very much like a rush thing. Okay. So it's 10-minute face.
Maybe you could have a Sara and Ellie's makeup moment.
Yeah, a 30-year-old and an 18-year-old. Guess who's gonna win? The 18-year-old.
Well, I don't know. I know nothing about makeup. I know nothing. All I know about makeup is that it takes forever.
And it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
That's what Christmas was this year. How do you know when you really are? Gosh, there's so many aspects to that. Your gender identity, your sexual identity, your likes, your dislikes, who you are. I love Christmas. I love Christmas. I love Christmas year round. Sara is
yes.
Halloween.
I love Halloween. Happy Halloween.
And I officially start Christmas the day after Halloween. And it's kind of crazy. Maybe next year we'll do a kind of a whole tour of the house. But,
maybe.
But I love Christmas, and I don't have to be quiet about it anymore. I don't have to hold back. I can just be who I am, my nerd, geek, Christmas self. Kind of the joke is that I'm the regional vice president of Christmas, and I love Christmas. We have a theme for Christmas every year, which frankly, a lot of people just kind of roll their eyes at, which is fine, but I like who I am. I made up this thing called Christmas Keepers. And so I have probably 8 or 10 friends that love Christmas like I do. And kind of our philosophy is that after Christmas season is over, that we take Christmas back into our care. And most of us listen to Christmas music year round when nobody is listening. And, it just is what it is. And people shake I will be down, it'll be July and I'll have music on in my car. I'll have the window rolled down and somebody will look at me like, why are you listening to Mariah Carey Christmas? I just do that.
But the thing is that when you're unapologetically enjoying something that you love and it takes over your entire person, that's when you're becoming who you really are meant to be. Awesome. And again, as long as you're not hurting yourself, animals, or other people, I don't care.
I like it. Okay, well, I think that's good for this episode. In our next episode, we're going to talk about, specifically, I think we're going to spend the entire episode on positive identity and self-esteem.
Ooh.
And maybe 2 episodes. We'll see how much time we have.
Okay.
And how long it takes to get through everything. But that's what we're going to talk about in our next episode. We'll see you soon.
Ooh,
have a great day. And by the way, those pants look great on you.
Bye.
Bye.